go over forms in HighLevel. Pretty straightforward. We're going to go through how to set them up, how to customize them, and how to do everything in between. First, you're going to start off by coming over here to the site section. Over here at the top, you see forms and surveys. They are identical to one another. The only difference is your surveys will allow you to go from slide to slide, almost like if you want to have a multi-step process approach. The other one is just a one-page form. Let's go into the form section, go to Builder. Go ahead and click on Add New Form. Obviously, you could start from templates, but we're going to do from scratch today to kind of give you an overall view of everything going on in the form section. Give this fancy form a name. Okay, let's start off with some of the basics. Obviously, you can see how it preloads your first name, last name, phone number, and email. Over here on the right side, as you click on each of the fields, you're going to get a view of how the field specifics you can do on them. For instance, if you don't want your phone and email required, you come down here and unselect the required button. You could change the alignment, the placement, the placeholders. The placeholder is the little section inside of the input field. So if you want to change this, first name goes here. That will allow you to change the placeholder, and then the names on the top of the fields are considered the label. So if you want to hide the label, you'll have to do that in two different areas. One option is to simply delete it off of here. Or you can actually go into a different setting that will hide all the labels at one time, which I'll show you in a little bit. As you come down here, we automatically have preloaded checkboxes, part of the industry standard these days. You can keep them or remove them. If you're going to keep them, I would recommend customizing them to whatever your business needs. If you're going to remove them, just click on the X along the side. The last preloaded option is your submit button. Obviously, pretty straightforward. Come over here and change the text if you want. Submit here. Bold, italicized, basic outline down here at the bottom. You have your colors. If you want to get rid of the ugly green that it defaults to, go ahead and change that here. And you can come through and customize anything you want from the the color of it, the padding. I believe the alignment is right here. So if you want to center align this over here, we can come down here and adjust the shadow. Right now it has no shadow on it. Make that black. We'll say 5, and you can kind of see how the shadow appears. So go ahead and customize away. Now let's talk about the other fields over here on the left side. And the top section is going to be your predefined fields. All of these come with every HighLevel system, and you can go through. You'll see the pre ones here, your submit button here. As you come down, we have the address, city, state. Simply just click and drag it where you want it. Once you place a field, you can still drag it to any other location on the form. It's not set in stone wherever you put it down here. And you can keep moving forward with all of that down here. Then as we come down, you're going to start getting into the more of the custom options into the system, especially down here when you get into the text, images, all that kind of stuff as you build this whole thing up, the drop downs, those sort of things. Now, we'll get into that here in a second when we get into the drop downs. Once you get into these particular types of fields, you're going to see a whole new set of options over here on the right. Go through, customize it. I recommend clicking through each one, get a feel for the different options that each of the fields have. Some of them are straightforward, some of them are a little bit more complicated, all that kind of stuff. Next, we're going to go over the general settings that come with the form. So first off, we have the settings tab over here on the top right, or top middle, as you say. First, we have the submit option. What happens is after you submit the form, we have a few different variables that can happen. The default one is the message. That means when you submit the form, it's literally going to show this message in the middle of the page. It doesn't change the page. It stays exactly where it's at. If you want to change that function, you can come over here and you can change it to open URL. This means you're going to put a URL in there and it's going to go to that particular page that you've pasted in there. Or you can come down here to the order confirmation one and it'll take you if it's specifically for an order. This is a newer feature that HighLevel's added recently. We're not going to get into depth on that one. I will point out, if you have this put into a funnel, the funnel can override these settings, which we'll go over in a later video, but just kind of keep that in your mind that this setting can specifically be addressed in two different areas, one in the form itself and one in the actual funnel. If you embed this form on a third-party website, this is where you adjust this setting. It's strictly for here. Your Facebook Pixel ID, if you're tracking opt-ins, leads, the conversions that come to Facebook, put your Pixel ID here. Same with the event. So these two go hand in hand. One can't work without the other. So this is the ID itself. Then you're going to come down here. Typically, if you're using a form, you're going to want that to be a lead event, but everybody's got their own funnel and their own strategy, so just go ahead and select it there. Oh, here's the page view. I apologize. And then we come down here, and this is the lead event. So this is the event that's going to happen when they physically submit the form. That's the one you want to select to happen on here. Come over here to submissions. Pretty straightforward. It's just going to show you submissions that happen in the form. You can actually get to this area in a different location. We'll go to there when we're done. The last set of settings I'm going to show you is if you click over here on the right side, you're going to see styles and options. This is a whole nother set of settings that you can actually adjust the form. First, I love this feature. You got the 2-column and the single line layouts. This is fantastic. What's great about this is it helps condense the form. You can add a little bit more customizations and feel. I actually loved what they added this feature in here. If you want to adjust these, once you click on that, if you come over here, you can actually see the width. So you can adjust the width. So it depends on what you want to do with it. So you can actually make this into a 3-column situation by simply, adjusting the width on each one of these. And 33% across the board will actually put a 3-column situation. So play around, have a good time with that. I love it. As you come down, the box style just means it's going to remove the border around everything and change it from box to line. The width, I will usually just leave this as is. You can adjust the width if you want. Again, it's the width of the entire form. This will get a little trickier when you're getting down to mobile responsive type stuff, but leaving it as a default is probably best practice at this point. Same with the situation. Come down here, play with the colors, background colors, all that kind of stuff is addressed right in here. If there's a specific layout you're looking for, you can go into the themes. I usually stay away from these because you want to customize this to the brand of your business. By clicking on this, it's going to change everything. So I would say use this if you have absolutely nothing else to go off of when you're building your form out. Then over here under advanced, just the last few features, borders, background colors, all that kind of stuff. Input field, that is specifically the fields here. What else we got over here? If we come down here, the label, here's the label that we talked about. This is what shows up right here. If you want to get rid of the label across the board on everything, you have that option right here. Show label, simply uncheck this and it gets rid of the label on everything. Another great feature, you don't have to manually delete it on every single thing. The placeholder, it is usually standard to have the placeholder text that I showed you be a lighter gray like this, but if you decide you want to make it a different color, you can do that right here. Other than that, the last option down here is the custom CSS. Unless you're into CSS and you want to customize it even further, you can go from there. After that, the last couple features that I absolutely love that they add was the submission notification section. If you come over here and you click on the little notification thing right here, before you weren't able to do this here, and it's a great feature that they added. Click on enable notification. This is obviously the subject line form. This is this notification that goes to you. So whatever you want it to say, this is the way you get notified in email every time someone sends it. Autoresponder, you can use this, but it's more customizable if you do this inside of an automation. This is what will go to the customer as soon as they fill out your form, wherever it's placed at. Outside of that, they do have a conditional logic. We're not going to get into that right now, but this will give you the general flow of how you build your form. As I stated at the beginning of this video, surveys work exactly the same way. Oh, well, let's get rid of that. A survey, you come in here, you add a survey, it's going to have the exact same functionality as the form, except it's broken into slides. And each slide can have as many questions as you want. The user will essentially be clicking next as they go through each slide up until they submit it at the end. So it's a different flow, different, easier way of doing things. We use this a lot in applications, things that have multiple questions. That way it's not some run long form on one single page. Helps kind of break things down, make it a little bit easier to digest when people are doing things. The last thing I want to go over today is custom fields in forms. Now, back in our original form that we were working on, custom fields, they kind of built in two different ways. If you come down here to the bottom, you can actually set up custom fields by clicking on like the single item route right here. And this will allow you to customize it. Now, my problem with this is you're not able to select certain criteria if you were to do this under the custom field section. So I do recommend doing it under here and not using the quick add feature. If you're going to come under here, what you're going to do is you're going to click on add. And you're going to see the slew of other options you get with this, right? So single, multi-line, text drop-downs, all that kind of stuff. So if we just do a simple drop-down, for example, we'll come over here and click next. Example, drop-down. The contact will stay as the object. Now the group, these are considered folders. They call them groups in the system, but they are folders. You set up the folders in a completely different area, but once you set them up, you can select them from here. And then down here, this is the one option you don't have under the quick add. So I love that you can do that in here. Just kind of note that if you're doing the quick add feature. And then we can go ahead and enter in your options. So you can put a yes or no drop down option. Okay, and then go ahead and hit save. And because I added this under additional info, it's going to automatically put that under our additional info folder, as I called it. If we come all the way down here to the bottom, we're going to see it. Go ahead and drag it over. And now we officially have the drop down. If we change this to 100%, it makes it the whole row. And that is basically how a custom field works. Enjoy the rest of the trainings. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. I'm Andy, the co-founder of Automate Me. We're a digital marketing agency that helps entrepreneurs generate more leads and automate their business online. I hope this training gave you some valuable takeaways for using HighLevel. If it did, be sure to like and subscribe to Automate Me for more trainings and tips.